Hello, and welcome to this video on the New York State Capitol. The New York Capitol is the seat of the New York State government, located in Albany, which is the capital city of New York. The Capitol building is part of the Empire State Plaza complex and houses the state legislature. It was completed in 1899 at a cost of $25 million, equivalent to $774 million in modern dollars, making it the most expensive building of its time. The New York State Capitol was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1979, and the plaza also has the New York State Museum. For my tour of that museum, check out my tour video on my YouTube channel. This is a view of the Empire State Plaza. You see at one end the New York State Capitol, and on the other end the New York State Museum and Library and Archives. It's a beautiful plaza, as we saw in the video. First, we'll visit the Senate staircase. The Senate staircase was completed in 1885 and designed by Leopold Eidlitz. It was once hailed as a great monumental work believed to be without parallel in the face of the globe. In 1946, the skylight and lower laylight were removed to accommodate more office space. During the 2012 restoration of the Senate staircase, the skylight and laylight were reconstructed. Next, we'll visit the exhibit on the counties of New York. New York's 62 county governments provide essential services to New Yorkers and visitors throughout the state. The county's roles have evolved from serving as an arm of the state to protect against enemies and maintain law and order to municipal governments with vast responsibilities and services. Today, county governments maintain public records, enforce laws, conduct elections, provide social and recreational services, and help to pave the way for industry and economic development. Here we see all the flags of all of the 62 counties. Next, we'll visit the Hall of New York. The Hall of New York features artists inspired by the beauty and majesty of New York State's natural landscape. Some of the artists featured were prominent in the artistic community, while others were virtually unknown outside of their hometowns. The paintings were divided by New York State region and together weave an intricate tapestry of New York State's diverse geography. Here we see the Assembly Chamber. The Assembly Chamber was the first ceremonial space in the Capitol to be occupied. When the room was opened on January 7th, 1879, extensive praise was lavished on architect Leopold Eidlitz's design. Less than 10 years after the chamber opened, structural problems, however, forced the replacement of the ornately carved sandstone groined vault ceiling with a flat coffered ceiling instead. They're in session from January to June, and when I visited in July of 2025, they were off season. Next, we'll head to the governor's reception room. The governor's reception room was originally designed to be an open space, part of a domed tower that was never built. Later plans called for a 40-feet-high rotunda with ceiling murals chronicling important events in the New York State military history. Through the murals were painted and installed by the distinguished artist William de Leftwich Dodge. The floor was never removed, allowing for an unusual perspective. Also in that room is the Half Moon, and in 1609, the English explorer Henry Hudson, working for the Dutch East India Company, set sail westward from Amsterdam in an effort to find the northern passage to the Far East. His ship was called the Half Moon, and it was about 85 feet long and 20 feet wide and carried a small crew of just 16. After a treacherous ocean voyage, they sailed into what is now known as New York Harbor and spent the next 5 weeks exploring the river believed to be the passage. They explored as far north as present-day Albany before turning back when it became clear that the river was not a route to Asia. Later, the river became known as the Hudson River, and the journey enabled the Netherlands to claim the territory and establish a colony, which lasted until it was taken over by the English in 1664. Next, we'll head to the Hall of Governors. The Hall of Governors reopened to the public in 2011. It's a portrait gallery that includes 53 governors, and underneath each governor is a brief biography on the walls. There's also a timeline highlighting important milestones in New York history. And included in the portraits are the 4 New York State governors who moved on to the presidency: Martin Van Buren, Grover Cleveland, Theodore Roosevelt, and Franklin D. Roosevelt. For a more complete and thorough video of the Hall of Governors, check out my other video, which I'll put in the link for you on my YouTube channel. Next, we'll head to the flag room. The flag room is home to the state's extensive collection of battle flags. The flags date from the War of 1812 to the Gulf War. An extensive restoration of the flags was begun by New York State Department of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation and the Division of Military and Naval Affairs. In 2011, the flag room expanded to include artifacts from the New York history, and the space is also used for military exhibits. Here we see a thing regarding the banners from the Empire State, and the formation and growth of the New York State battle flag collection reflects the service and sacrifices that New Yorkers have made in defense of our state and nation. They started to collect patriotic banners in 1863 to preserve the tangible emblems that inspired and embodied New York's fighting men during the deadly Civil War, and over the last 150 years, New York's organized militia, known as the New York National Guard, have routinely added its flags to the collection. Today, there are over 2,100 flags in the battle collection, the largest state battle flag collection in the country. Next, we're going to head to another architectural masterpiece, the Great Western Staircase. The Great Western Staircase is the most elaborate of the three interior staircases and was completed in 1897. It's a celebration of the stone carver's art and includes portraits of many famous New Yorkers. The staircase is frequently referred to as the $1 Million Staircase. The Great Western Staircase skylight provides natural light for the staircase, and it consists of a greenhouse-like structure on the capital roof and a lower lay light or diffuser. It was reopened in 2002 after a major restoration. Now we'll head to the Senate lobby. The Senate lobby was restored between 1977 and 1981. It serves as a meeting place for senators and their constituents, lobbyists, and members of the press. The large gates by the Albert Pally and stained glass by Hilda Sachs were added to the space during its restoration. The Victorian tile floor was restored in 2002. We'll head to the Senate chamber. Last, the Senate chamber was the creation of architect H.H. Richardson, and it was completed in 1881 and has been used ever since for the deliberations of the Senate. The architect's skilled mingling of many different materials resulted in a room of great beauty. The chamber is now seen restored to its 1881 appearance, except that it accommodates 63 senators, 31 more than when the room was first occupied. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you get a chance to visit the New York State Capitol building. There are also guided tours there. There are self-guided tours. It's a wonderful place to visit, and lots of magnificent architecture. And also, again, there are a number of other interesting buildings in the Empire State Plaza, and the New York State Museum is well worth a visit. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you check out some of my other travel videos, and have a wonderful day.